morning, students. I am Anuja, lecturer of Emmanuel College of Pharmacy. Today, we are going to discuss about clinical research coordinator. Then, first one, clinical research introduction. What do you mean by clinical research? Clinical research is a branch of healthcare science that determines the safety and effectiveness of medication device, diagnosis product, and treatment regimen intended for human uses. Research is a laboratories and time-consuming task that can take several years. Drug development research in particular is long and addresses and beginning a single new drug cost on the average USD 1.7 billion and takes approximately 13.5 years from discovery to the market. Clinical trial is any research study that restrictively assigns human participants or group of human to one or more health related interventions to evaluate the effects on health outcomes. Clinical trials are conducted to collect the data regarding the safety and efficiency of new drug and device development. Father of the clinical trials is James Lind. Then next topic is clinical research and coordinator. What do you mean by clinical research and coordinator? The clinical research coordinator is a vital link between the research subject and their family, the investigator, and other site team members. There are also the difference between the sponsor, CRO, SMO, Central Laboratory Countries, the Institutional Review Board, IRB, and other players involved in the trials. Because of an increases in the number of clinical trials and the need for completed and data investigation research, many sponsors today are required to place a trial at a site that does not have a trained clinical research coordinator to work along with the investigator. Okay. The next for responsibility of clinical research coordinators. Clinical research coordinator work in a team under the direct supervision of the place. Clinical research coordinator usually how they handle multiple responsibility. The responsibility of clinical research coordinator can be broadly categorized as general responsibility, trial specific responsibility, then two types. Then first one, general responsibility. General responsibility means capacity building. The clinical research coordinator ensures that the potential pool of potential investigator and site keeping increasing. The clinical research coordinator is always on the lookout for new trials site with the investigator who are research native. They conduct an in-depth surgery of the new site of access, manpower, presence and competence, support staff and constant support, infrastructure, presence of a functional ethics committee, complicatable management, major disease and incidence and prevalence rate. Then first one, manpower, presence and competence, support staff and constant support, infrastructure, presence of a functional ethics committee, complicable management, major diseases, inside and prevention rate. Next, training new clinical research coordinators. Clinical research coordinators are An accent and often are the best person to handhold and train the newcomers in the field of clinical research. The training may include conducting feasibility studies, designing trial documents, setting up to set conduct of the trial and trial closeout. Trial related responsibility, site identification. Site identification. A key responsibility of the clinical research coordinator is to identify the right site for the trial, one that fulfills all the certain site forth by the clinical trial guidance and trial protocol. A clinical research study who has worked at a particular site PLL is often the best judge to identify the site for another trials. Having worked at a site for over a period of time, the clinical research coordinator understands the needs, expectations, and the potential of the site. He or she know how to set the can functions to the optimum. Next, pre-trial documentation. A, a, a clinical research coordinator has to collect the update and sign the resume of each member of the site team. He or she must ensure that the following pre-trial documents are completed with the specified timeline. Then from 1572, financial disclosures former undertaking from the confidently non-disclosure agreement. Coordinating with the IRB. You can actively follow up through the site team with the IRB for a faster approval of the trial. You will also look into the timely submissions of all the safety reported and the admitted of the trial document of the IRB. That is the coordinating with the IRB. The next topic, financial responsibility. What do you mean financial responsibility? Financial responsibility is a senior clinical research coordinator may be employed to negotiate the budget at the site. This includes the investigator fees, site administration fees, lab costs, study subject travel, and other reimbursements. Tracks the trial on the routine basis. Inform the concentrator personnel on researching specific milestones. All milestones related payments will be followed up by you. Training the site staff. The clinical research coordinator must be ready to train the site staff on a regular basis throughout the trial. He and she can highlight on inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria, schedule of visits, window period, and visit specific activity, safety guidance and reporting timelines as per the protocol. Investigator, meeting and site investigation visit. The clinical research coordinator may be in charge of conducting the endless investigator meeting for the trial. They also have to ensure that all the requirements are in place for the site investigation visit. Informed consent form. The, the clinical research coordinator ensure that the informed consent form sent by the sponsor is translated and back translated into the local language as advised by the investigator. Then ICF means the clinical research coordinator ensure that the informed consent form sent by the sponsor is translated and back translated into the local language as advised by the investigator. Then patient requirement and follow-up. During the subject enrollment, he and she ensure that all queries are clarified up to subject satisfactions and that the uh, informed patient informed consent form is the administered by the investigator as per the ICH guidance. Indian Conference Harmonization is a good clinical practice guidance. Then research, pharmacy, drug capability and laboratory. The CRC also have to manage the storage of the study drug account for study drug received from sponsor, distributed to the patients, returned from the patients and finally back to the sponsor. They ensure that all the laboratory specimens such as blood, urine, tissues, etc. are properly labeled, packaged and stored before shipment to the central lab. They even coordinate with the central lab on a regular basis for the timely receipt of the report. Then administrators, they follows up with the sponsor for any administration in the study protocols in the essence students. But amateur registrations are implemented at the site only after the favorable written approval by the IRB. Then post-trial activities. Once the hospital phase of the trial is over, completing the study documentation will become the key focus. They do have final check of the case reported forms maintained and achieve inventory of records and CRF secure place and coordinate the close out visit. Close out visits. Thank you.